if you want to capture everything that was said today, it boils down to our first principle. We have 5 core principles in furthering fathering, and the first principle is honor.
And when we're able to impact families the way we do with these programs, it makes a difference in our community and it makes a difference in our nation.
What Greg is doing in our community is so very, very needed. I don't have to tell you guys the inning and the score in our community. And I just put the skunk on the table. You know, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. Our communities are really in trouble. Without these dads in these homes, without these dads in these families' lives, almost every one of our issues that we have in the city of College Park stems from what's not going on in the house.
I want to thank Councilman Joe Kahn because, again, like I said a little earlier, Greg put his stamp on furthering fathering here in the community of College Park.
Partnerships like the one we had with Furthering Fathers, it's huge. I don't think you all understand what that means to an organization and our police department.
Fathering is very important. And in our jail, we have an average of 2,500 inmates. 98% are black males. And we see the issue, and the chief hit on it, and so did the vice mayor. That somewhere in their life, about 3rd, 4th grade, they fall behind. And once you fall behind, you don't catch up. So as you get to the certain point where you just drop out of school, what are your options?
We can't arrest our way out of this problem, right? And so if we're going to be successful, then we have to have effective partnerships with different community groups. Because see, when I started putting the program together in the city of Atlanta, I felt like I was collapsing under the weight of the project because there's so many different issues, right? I asked my school resource officer, sit down with the chronically truant kids and find out why they're truant from school. You'd be amazed at some of the stories I heard. Some kids don't go to school just because they don't have clean clothes to wear every day. Did any of us have to deal with that when we were growing up? A lot of these kids are dealing with issues that we simply don't have to grapple with today. And so it became more about me putting together programs to try to help these kids to just build the capacity to come to school every day. And after a while, you feel that load getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And before you know it, you'll collapse under the weight of those projects. And so if you don't have organizations coming forward, if you don't have the effective partnerships, we're going to continue to create this vicious cycle of where we arrest kids for minor offenses, and then they're in the system. And then there's one thing that I know, and that everybody in here should know, is that criminal behavior is progressive, right? You start out with minor offenses, and then the next thing you know, somebody's robbing a liquor store or a bank. And before you know it, that kid that started off with these minor crimes, now he's in prison for the rest of his life. Let me tell you what I saw during my time with the city of Atlanta. I spent 11 years over the homicide unit there. 11 of my 30 years I spent over the homicide unit with the Atlanta Police Department before I came to the city of College Park. And I found one African-American male after another that lacked the capacity to resolve their conflicts in a nonviolent way. When I asked one of the kids one time, what were you thinking about right before you pulled the trigger? He said, I don't know, everything just went black. He didn't have the words. He couldn't express the way he was feeling at that time. And so we have some serious issues.
If I throw a ball far or further, then my ball went past the point of someone else's. So father means to further our children past the point in life where we went.
Exactly.
As a father of 9 children, 8 girls and 2 boys and 4 grandchildren, been married to my beautiful, I call my white baby, she's Baby Ruth. For 26 years. And we just recently had a tragedy. I don't know if you heard about the fire truck in Clayton County on May 11th to hit the Mercedes-Benz with the 3 girls. Those are my children. My 18-year-old was driving. My 7-year-old, it was her birthday. And my 10-year-old was in the back. And my 7-year-old is right now in ICU. Well, she just got out of ICU. She's in rehab right now. But as a father, you always have to be there for your children in difficult times. And we have to remember, as black men, we can't be honored and we abandon our children.
And so they can be led, they can be taught, but teaching doesn't come without compassion, teaching doesn't come without caring, teaching doesn't come without consistency. And most importantly, teaching doesn't come without modeling. And so if you ain't modeling the behavior, then you can't expect for them to be the behavior.
Because it doesn't matter what logo you put up there. We gotta get the work done. We have to get the work done. Because if we don't model it, we can't even speak it and shouldn't speak it.